how's it going, everyone?
What is up?
With Resident Evil 9 right around the corner, there's a lot of theories and speculation going around involving the plot, the characters, and one of the things that is one of the most important questions that we have here at Let's Talk Resident Evil. We're really curious. Why is the mystery man talking about how Grace is the chosen one, the special one?
Who are you? Why me?
And in today's video, we're going to examine something that might just have something to do with that statement.
We are trying something different here with these lore videos on the channel, so definitely let us know your feedback in the comments, and we definitely want to add this to our normal content lineup with these lore videos. So with that being said, let's get right into it.
Alyssa died 8 years ago. Perhaps it's time for you to face the past.
Resident Evil 9 Requiem is coming soon, and as of the recording of this video, we still have a ton of questions and theories. One of the biggest questions that we do have is, why is Grace Ashcroft so special? Why is she being targeted? And who is the man sitting in the chair referring to her as the chosen one?
There's no escaping your destiny.
And why does he refer to her as the chosen one in the trailer? Well, what we do know is that Grace is the daughter of Outbreak star Alyssa Ashcroft, her mother, a Raccoon City survivor.
The callback to the Resident Evil Outbreak series, which so far had seemingly not been a part of the RE Engine games, also makes us wonder, what about Outbreak is canon? All of it? Some of it? None of it? Well, assuming at least the main points are canon, there is an angle on Alyssa Ashcroft that is worth exploring, and that is how she was cured of the T-virus using daylight.
Daylight is a vaccine for the T-virus that was developed during the Raccoon City destruction incident. There are 3 key ingredients involved in the creation of daylight. They are V-poison from a mutated wasp,
You must give me your blood.
T-blood from a creature infected with the T-virus, and the P-base, which is a chemical compound that requires careful storage and mixing. These key ingredients can be placed in a special incubator, and a daylight sample can be produced automatically. The daylight sample appears to be a bright white liquid when it is produced.
A major gameplay component of Resident Evil Outbreak and Resident Evil Outbreak File 2 was an on-screen viral gauge that traced the T-virus infection within your character. When it reached 100%, your character turned into a zombie, and it was pretty much game over.
During the final scenario of the first outbreak, Decisions, the player can find the necessary ingredients to craft daylight themselves. They also have the option to use it to cure themselves, thus taking away the viral gauge entirely. While on one hand, it was a gameplay mechanic to add a timer to the scenario playthrough, it also is a component of the story as well.
The cast of Outbreak is all infected with the T-virus at the start of the game, most likely from either contaminated drinking water or rats, but either way, the infection plagues them throughout their escape. Considering that in the good endings, the player is cured of the virus and has an extra sample of daylight in their possession for mass production, and also that the daylight has appeared outside of Outbreak in the Resident Evil canon, we can conclude that this gameplay mechanic was canon in the story as well.
The creation of daylight reached its final stage in late August of 1998 at Raccoon University, under the supervision of Dr. Peter Jenkins. Peter got inside information about Umbrella's illicit bioweapons project from Dr. Greg Mueller, a fellow university staff member and Umbrella researcher.
Mueller was a former head researcher for Umbrella who became disillusioned with the idea of mass-producing tyrants,
Mass production? Ridiculous!
believing that they should only focus on one masterpiece.
One masterpiece is enough.
After leaking the information to Peter Jenkins, Peter was appalled at Umbrella's actions and dedicated himself to finding a cure for the T-virus. He named it Daylight because, as he says in his diary, you don't need an umbrella in the daylight.
Peter was provided a T sample from Dr. Mueller on September 15th. which daylight was tested on, and while reportedly it wasn't yet stable, it was able to suppress the growth of the T-virus cells.
By September 19th, Peter would find out that Dr. Mueller had been playing him from the start and planned everything. Peter tries to pretend he is oblivious to this, as he knows he is the only one other than Dr. Mueller that knows how to create daylight, and that Dr. Mueller may try to take him out.
Peter contacts his good friend, Dr. George Hamilton, asking for him to come to Raccoon University.
Dear George, I have vital information about the current city crisis which only you will understand. I'm waiting at the university. Please contact me as soon as possible. Peter Jenkins.
In secret, Peter writes down the ingredients and directions for creating daylight and hides them as a failsafe.
Once George arrives at Raccoon University, assuming the events of Decisions are still canon, he eventually finds Peter Jenkins murdered in his office. Peter left a message for George telling him to create daylight using the incubator in the lab. George also finds his hidden instructions and proceeds to try and make daylight himself.
Collecting the V poison from the mutated wasps that had taken over the university's emissions tower, creating the P-base carefully in the water treatment plant, and defeating Dr. Mueller's ultimate bioweapon, Thanatos, the survivors procure the T-blood sample. Once these ingredients are placed in the incubator, a daylight sample is produced in timed intervals.
In the best ending, the survivors of the scenario can cure themselves with daylight and bring another sample for mass production. If Resident Evil 9 placed Alyssa Ashcroft in the ending canonically, then it would mean that she was cured of the T-virus using daylight. It is important to note that this has not been confirmed. This is only a possibility and a theory.
It is worth noting that in the Resident Evil manga, The Marhawa Desire, daylight is brought up as a working cure for the T-virus, indicating that it is still in production as a vaccine, at least up until the events of the manga.
Are you enjoying this video right here on Let's Talk Resident Evil? Well, guess what? This is where we would put a sponsor.
If we had one, which we don't.
So this video is brought to you by our lovely YouTube members and our Patreon supporters that help us support the content right here on Let's Talk Resident Evil.
Exclusive polls, content, podcasts, live streams, all that good stuff. Click the link below for Patreon or YouTube members.
Now let's get back to the video.
Daylight is not the only T-virus vaccine shown in the series, but it is the only one that has a proper name. In the events of Resident Evil 3, Jill Valentine is infected with the T-virus by Nemesis, and she is cured using a T-virus vaccine. This vaccine is unnamed and was produced at Spencer Memorial Hospital by Dr. Nathaniel Bard. It is also a bright pink color, unlike Daylight, which is a bright white color. It is safe to assume that this must be a different vaccine.
The pharmaceutical company Will Pharma, as shown in the CG movie Resident Evil Degeneration, also had a working cure for the T-virus that they were trying to market during the bioterror attacks that year. This sample is also never given a specific name, nor is it shown what color it is on screen.
More recently, in the CGI movie Resident Evil Death Island, series mainstays Chris Redfield, Claire Redfield, and Leon Kennedy were infected with a special strain of the T-virus crafted by bioterrorist Dylan Blake. Rebecca Chambers was able to produce a cure for this strain and administered it to those infected, thus curing them of that strain of the T-virus.
While we don't know for sure as of this recording, we have shown how it was possible that Alyssa Ashcroft was infected and cured by the T-virus if the events of Outbreak are now canon, and she was one of the survivors rescued from Raccoon University, or if she was rescued elsewhere and was administered daylight after. Again, pure speculation, but why would it matter to Resident Evil 9, and why does this make Grace special?
Well, we can look to Jill Valentine for that. She was infected by the T-virus and cured, and now because of this, her body has special properties from the virus that has caused her to age slower than others. This is an effect shown in Resident Evil Death Island, and who knows if the virus will have or has had other effects on her.
We have not been shown the well-being of Outbreak survivors outside of Alyssa since the Raccoon City incident. We don't know if being cured of the T-virus has had an effect on their body like it did for Jill Valentine. We also don't know what effect a human cured of the T-virus could pass on to a child, such as Grace Ashcroft.
Ever since discovering the progenitor virus, which is the basis of the T-virus, Umbrella founder Oswald E. Spencer dreamed of it bestowing immortality. and special abilities on select human beings. Maybe those cured of the T-virus are on that path. We just don't have enough information at this time to be sure. And we also do not know who's the man sitting in the chair in the trailer.
Even with the minimal information we have so far, it is worth considering that the events of Outbreak and the use of daylight may just be a major influence of the events of Resident Evil 9's story. Could being cured with the daylight have passed along special privileges to Grace's body? Well, we'll have to wait for more information as the game's release draws closer to find out. Daylight is definitely an interesting piece of Raccoon City lore that unfortunately we mostly lost after the Outbreak games, and they never really went back to it. With Resident Evil 9 revisiting a lot of what seems to be Outbreak Easter eggs or locations, we're curious to see if Grace, being the daughter of somebody who is most likely cured by daylight, if that is why she's going to be the special and the chosen one.
It's very exciting. I'm very just happy to see Outbreak getting some love and some recognition within the lore, and I'm just excited to see how it all ties into the history of Raccoon City with this game.
Definitely. And as we said in the beginning, if you want more lore videos like this, your feedback is crucial, because if they don't work, we won't make them.
Exactly.
So if you like this, let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.